Welcome back to Makeup Monday. Today I finally have a full face look for you. I know my last two videos weren't like in-depth kind of. I decided, you know what? This is my third video. I think it's time for a full face of makeup for you guys. So today I used the Morphe 35K palette. Now this palette I saw online and it was one of those, I have to have this. Just look, I don't know how to hold, okay, so there's no mirror on top, but you get 35 colors for like $20, so that's really good. These are the beautiful assortment of colors in the 35K coffee palette. Coffee with like a K, because like it's cool. I really, I don't have the 350, but I'm kind of favoring this one over it. And I don't know why, because I'm more of a warm tones kind of girl. So yeah, that's the look I have for you today, the one I'm wearing right now, duh. So let's just get like on with the video. I really hope you enjoy.
So first I'm starting off by priming my eyes with the Lorac Behind the Scenes eyeshadow primer, and using the Kat Von D Shade Light contour brush, I'm taking that second shade from the top row of the Morphe 35K palette to just set my primer down. Next, I am taking a C412 Deluxe Pointed Crease brush from Crown and that second shade from the right, and I'm just placing that in my crease. You're going to have to bear with me throughout this video because the shadows in the palette have no shade names, so we're just going to have to go by placement. Using that same brush, I'm taking the second shade from the left on the second row and placing that exactly where I had placed the first shadow in my crease. Then taking a Rite Aid Renewal brush, I am just taking that first shade on the right in the top row on my lower crease and doing the same with the third shade from the right in the second row. I am then blending out those two shadows using an icing blending brush. Then using a more stiff rounded brush, I am taking the third shade from the right in the third row to put on the outer crease to give it darkness and definition. I then went in with that same crown brush to blend out the outer corners of my eyes. I then took a flat tip brush and the third shade from the right on the top row and placed that all over my lid. Then I went back in with my icing blending brush to blend out the shadow. And somewhere in blending, I lost that smoky effect, so I took that stiff rounded brush on the same dark shadow again and just went over my outer crease. Now I'm going to show you how to get the perfect line without using the tape method. So you are going to take any makeup wipe, I used the Neutrogena makeup wipes because they're my favorite, and just wiped away in the shape of a line. Now it is time for the face. I am taking the Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizing Primer in the Redness Reduction shade, and I'm just placing that all over my face. For foundation, I'm using the Kat Von D Lock It Tattoo Foundation in the shade Light 49. I'm using my Real Techniques buffing brush and just spritzing my MAC Fix Plus on it to buff it into my skin. I used my Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in the shade Medium Light Neutral to conceal and set a base for my highlight. Then I blended it out with my Revive Beauty Sponge. Using the Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour Palette, I'm taking the shade Lucid to set where I just placed the concealer. Then I tightlined my eyes with the Maybelline Define-A-Line. Since I wasn't using false lashes today, I went in with the Tarte Lights Camera Flashes Statement Mascara. I'm taking a Crown Brush C413 Brow Spoolie to comb out my brows, and then I am taking the shade Subconscious from the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette on an angled brush from Icing to fill in my brows. And to set my brows, I am taking the Maybelline Great Lash Mascara in Clear. Since we don't want a bare lower lid, I am taking the first shade on the right in the top row of the Morphe 35K palette on an e.l.f. Professional Eyeliner brush and lining that close to my waterline. And then, of course, I'm just taking my icing blending brush to blend that out. For contouring, I'm using the Kat Von D Shade Light contour palette, and I'm taking the shade Sombre to contour my cheekbones as well as my forehead and my jawline. Then to highlight, I am taking the shade Lyric from the same palette, and I'm basically putting that everywhere we didn't contour. Then taking the shade Lucid on a Soho contour brush, I am just baking my cheekbones. For blush, I'm using the Tarte blush in the shade Smashing on a big fluffy brush. To highlight, I'm using the Sephora Ombre Obsession palette, and I am taking that middle shade on a Real Techniques contour brush to highlight the tops of my cheekbones, the brow bone, the inner corner, and the Cupid's bow. For lipstick, I am using an Este Lauder Pure Color Envy lipstick in the shade 210 Impulse. And lastly, I am just wiping away where I set my bake. And that completes today's look.
Yep, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and please, please, please subscribe.
That is Mittens. She is my pet because I don't have a real pet.
Because almost just dropped it.